speaker, Mr. Lalit Chauhan. The session is going to be about EV selection and fleet management. Mr. Lalit has more than 12 years of experience, and he has worked in the strategy and business development industry for the EV space in India. His expertise include mobility data analysis, charging strategy analysis, battery and motor sizing, charging infrastructure sizing, and energy and financial analysis. So he's associated with Microgrid Labs currently, which is based out of US, and it provides consulting services and modeling software for renewable energy based microgrids. Also, he has worked as a senior engineer with Siemens and has expertise in the industrial automation solutions and energy management solutions, including products like high HT motors, LT motors, geared motors, and other relevant technical motors, etc. Now, I would like to welcome Mr. Lalit. Over to you. I will stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to everyone. Thanks for the introduction. Now I'll a little bit give you an introduction about my company, Microgrid Labs. So Microgrid Labs is a consulting and software company which specializes in commercial fleet electrification and microgrids. So we are a team of engineers who has got the experience into the power engineering, automation, and softwares. So based on that, from the last 4 years, we are working in the space of EV all across the globe. And we are majorly working in US market, then we are working in the Indian market, and we have recently stepped into the other markets as well with respect to the fleet electrification. So I will quickly give you some idea about the fleet electrification. So in electric mobility, generally, there are two types of e-mobility that we consider. One is the non-fleet and one is the fleet. So our work is majorly focused on the fleet electrification. So when we say the fleet electrification, this is the transit buses, school buses, delivery vans, trucks, and the last mile connectivity and the taxi services. So these we usually called as fleet services. So I'll be sharing my screen. Do let me know, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, and you haven't shared your screen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll be starting thanks for the UK Pact and Green Tree for organizing this session about the EV selection and fleet electrification. So this is about Microgrid Labs. As I've explained you, we are a software firm. We established in April 2015. All the information you can go and check on our website. I will quickly show you what we are doing in the space of fleet electrification. So when we say fleet electrification, it is majorly related to the vehicles, and all the system has to be designed keeping in mind the vehicle type, size, and the operations. So here, when we do the electrification of a fleet, so we have three constraints, three things in our hand. One is the electric vehicle, the charging infrastructure, and the electrical and energy infrastructure. So all these three are interlinked with each other, as you can see on the left side. Since this fleet electrification is a very complex thing, as you can see from the image itself, all the things are interlinked with each other. If you change one of the parameters, that will impact entire chain of the system. Your operating hours, your electrical infrastructure, the charging infrastructure, the vehicle battery size, then the financials, everything is interlinked to each other. So there is no publicly available software which can do this complex system analysis in detail for the customer to understand how their fleet can be converted into an electric fleet based on the above three parameters. So MGL has developed a tool called EVOpt, and we prepared the entire EVOpt ecosystem. This is our EVOpt ecosystem, which you can see on the screen. So we have got two software suites here. One is the EVOT planner that gives the customer the initial planning for before the implementation of the project. Then there is another software called EVOP controller, which gives the customer to operate to maintain the operations of entire fleet in real time. Now you can see from the left side there is an energy infrastructure, there is vehicle, there is operational data, forecast, and everything is interlinked with each other. And this is how our EVOP sitting in a cloud maintaining all the operations. These are the steps that are involved into electric fleet planning. First step of the planning is route analysis. Under that, there are 4 steps: route energy, route alignment, charging strategy, schedule alignment. Then the next module is battery. Then it has got again its own components, then the charging infrastructure, then energy infrastructure, and finally the financial analysis. So now I'll be explaining you all these steps one by one. So this is the first step where we do the route energy analysis. So when we do the route energy analysis, we normally take the type of vehicle and the parameter associated with that vehicle. On the left, you can see the different icons of a vehicle and the parameters that goes into the system. Then the detail of the route on which this particular vehicle will be running and delivering the services. Then on the right side, you will get the output result of this analysis based on your vehicle parameters and route parameters. So you will get the energy required daily to do the services. And this energy is broken into 3 parts: the traction power, the HVAC power, and the auxiliary power. Based on this, you will get the battery size and the motor size that is required for your drivetrain. Now, charging strategy is one important part in this entire system. So charging strategy development defines how your vehicle will operate and how they will perform their operations during a day. For this charging strategy development, the route parameters are required, and the other parameters that is required are the space, real estate, and cost. So the charging strategy is basically of 3 types. One is the depot and destination charging, other one is a layover charging, and third one is a on-route charging. So you can see a difference. If we plan a fleet without a layover charging, we need a 450 kilowatt battery pack size, 450 kilowatt kWh battery pack. If we plan the same fleet with a layover charging, you can see we are able to manage the operation with 120 kWh battery size. So on the y-axis, you can see the SOC, how SOC is developing during the day, and on the right side, on the x-axis, you can see the time in minutes. So this is how we do the charging infrastructure sizing. We collect the historical data, then we analyze the possible locations based on your operation and the size of the chargers and number of the chargers are required. So here you can see, based on the analysis, we have identified 3 possible locations to have a charging infrastructure: number of chargers and the capacity of chargers. This is the second module, battery sizing module, where the route parameter goes, the energy and charging strategy, then the battery parameter goes into the system. This gives you the battery capacity and the battery profile, how battery will perform over a period of time or the lifetime of the battery. This is the charger infra sizing. Here the route parameters, battery parameters, other parameter goes into the system. This is how the output will be generated, and this charging infrastructure is based on the depot charging, the charger rating and the load profile. The third module is driving range estimator. In the driving range estimator, the vehicle parameters, battery parameters, and other parameters goes into the system, and this gives you the driving range over a period of battery lifetime, and this is how the output shows you for the first year, third year, sixth year. On the blue color you can see theoretical max, and with the orange color you can see range with SOC reserve. On the gray color you can see with range with the 50% passenger and HVAC, and on the yellow color you can see range with 100% passenger and HVAC. HVAC means AC on for the cabin comfort. And this is the financial calculation, the final step of our solution or EVOpt ecosystem. Here all the 4 parameter goes into the system: route energy, battery parameters, vehicle parameters, and financial analysis. And this is how you will get the TCO, total cost of ownership, over a vehicle lifetime. Here you can also do a what if analysis. Suppose you want to do any changes in with respect to the financial parameters and with respect to the vehicle parameters. So you can have a what if analysis in your projects in EVOpt Planner tool. And this is finally the financial dashboard, where all the financial things are compared together, like the NPV, cost per mile, net cash flow, and cumulative cash flow. Now I will take you to the software to show each and every step what we have seen into this deck, so that you can visualize everything into the tool. This is the charging process simulation, how the charging process looks like for vehicle by vehicle. This is our EVOpt SaaS platform, which is already live, available on myeviopt.com. So this software platform is available into 4 versions. One is the EVOpt Lite, EVOpt Basic, EVOpt Advanced, and EVOpt Pro. So as of now, EVOpt Lite is available and free to use. In coming couple of months, we'll be adding the EVOpt Basic, Advanced, and Pro.
Well, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation about the software that you're using. It was really insightful. We do have some questions.
Okay. We can first, shall we take a quick demo round of the tool and then we'll go to the question answers, or
Yeah, no worries. We can go for the demo round. I believe we have a lot of time available. So,
okay. So this is the line. I'll show you the. This is the EVOpt website. Here all the things are mentioned about EVOpt. Now you can go to the EVOpt planner from here and then get started. So from here, you normally lands to this page. So this is the our landing page.
So I guess your screen is still in the slideshow.
Just a minute.
Yeah, maybe you have to refresh. Stop sharing and reshare.
Can you see?
Yes, Mr. Lalit, we can proceed.
Yeah. Just a minute. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, Mr. Lalit, we can.
Yeah. I'm trying to access this. Somehow it is not. Just give me a minute. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. We have time. You can take your time. Meanwhile, dear participants, just a kind request, if you can see in the chat box, we have this feedback form. Kindly fill up the form. You can read the context, and if you have any queries, you can let us know in the chat box.
So this is our EVOP login page. So from here, okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes,
Everyone?
yes, we can.
So this is our EVOP landing page where the tool users can access the tool. So this is the sign up. Since like if the user is new, they have to do a sign up. So here they can do a simple sign up with the email ID, and then it will ask very few details, and then a user can go into the system. So I've already signed up. So I'm be logging in with my credentials, and then I'll walk you through with the. So upon logging into the system, the users can see this introduction video about this tool, and here they can have the entire set of tutorial videos about each of the modules, how to use the modules. And this is the first section where user will come and have to create their project. So I'll be adding a new project. So from here, the user can add a new project and they can create about their project. So I'll be creating a project by the name of training here. So here the users can select the measurement system, imperial or metric, based upon their project type. And from here they can select the currencies, like I'm selecting the metric and INR, and users can select the USD, Euro, Canadian dollar. Since this is the global tool, so we are adding the different currencies, like as in when we are entering into the market. From here, you can select the country. I'm selecting India as a country. Then the state. Then the zip code. PIN code. The city. So the importance of this particular section is like when a user in the coming time will enter their PIN code or zip code, the system will automatically fetch their weather data. So weather is one important thing that impacts the fleet operations. As you know that in Delhi, we have variability in terms of temperature. Like in summers, the temperature is high, in winters, temperature is low. In summers, we need the cooling systems sometime for a longer period of months. So that way it impacts the operation. And when the climate, this requirement of cooling goes up, so the more power is used. So in terms of that, our charging infrastructure and energy infrastructure has to cope up with the system and deliver the required energy for the fleets to do the daily operations. So since I have filled all the details, now I am creating a project. So once you have created your project, the details you will see here. Now after that, you have to do the analysis. So what we mean by new analysis is all the 5 things that or 5 steps of our EV of planner. So the first one is the route energy analysis, then battery sizing, then driving range estimation, then the charger sizing, and finally the TCO. So I'll be starting with the first one, and then I will do it till the last. So this is our first analysis that we are doing. So here for a fleet. So when we say a fleet is normally has a in terms of understanding, it is different from a personal car. It is different from a non-fleet case. When I say non-fleet case, so non-fleet case is the public charging infrastructure and the infrastructure installed inside the buildings, on the highways, and the EV charging infrastructure that looks like an fuel station. So all those installation of electric infrastructure or e-mobility we call as a non-fleet e-mobility case, wherein in fleet we normally takes the parameter of a fleet of vehicle. So every vehicle has got their own operating schedules. So now we will fill the operating schedule of a vehicle. So now in this case, we are doing it for a transit bus case. So transit bus case, as in for a reference, the bus that all the state transport departments run for the public transportation. So all those buses have got a block name. So I am using for a reference a block name B1. I'm using a route name as R1. Then type of vehicle type. So you can have a different type of vehicles. You can select here bus, truck, cutaway, SUV. So these two vehicles are specific to US market. And type and usage of the bus. So transit, paratransit or shuttle bus, school bus or delivery bus. So we are using a transit bus. And here you can select a bus size 9 meter, 12 meter and 15 meters. And now here you have to enter the number of passenger on the daily basis, the average of it. So 9 meter bus usually has a sitting capacity of 32 passenger plus driver. So for this analysis, I am taking the number of average passenger on board during the entire day is 40 numbers. Like during the morning hours or evening hours, which we call as a peak hours. So here, this time the normally bus is overcrowded. So maybe during this time 70 or 60 people are traveling into the same bus. But during in the afternoon or in the non-peak hours, less number of people are traveling into the same bus. So we need the average passengers starting from the morning till the ending of the operation. So normally the operations of a typical transit bus anywhere in India is about 15 hours to 16 hours. So for this simulation, we'll be using that our first bus will start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the last bus that comes back to the depot will be around at 10 p.m. And the typical daily distance in India, all the STUs require they need somewhere around 200 to 250 kilometers based depending upon the city and state. So for if we take an example of Delhi, here the total daily requirement is 200 kilometers a day. Now, since we have entered the operating schedule of a vehicle, now we'll be moving to the next. This is the duty cycle. So duty cycle is the important parameters of the any fleet electrification system, where you need to provide the speed versus time graph on a particular route. So these are the things that we have filled already on the earlier page. Now we in Delhi, we normally do not use heating, we use cooling. And this is the HVAC hourly load. This usually you get from the manufacturer, from the OEM of a vehicle. So for the calculation, I'll use a 10 kilowatt that data I've gathered from the market. Now this is the duty cycle that you have to fill. So we'll be using a city periphery duty, and this duty cycle is with respect to India. So we have got the public, like the reference duty cycle available in our database. So you can use any of the duty cycles. We have 2 duty cycle available for Indian buses. These are the 2 duty cycle. I'm using a D3 duty cycle for this analysis. Then the third one is the gradient. So we have a flat, low hilly, moderate hilly, very hilly. So you in Delhi, usually the terrain is flat. So this is how you get the route energy analysis. So this is the daily energy demand that is required by our bus to do a 200 kilometers a day. Here you can see 159 kWh. This bus needs the energy requirement is for the traction, and 98 kWh is for the HVAC, and 30 kWh is for the auxiliary systems to run. Now I'm going for the next analysis. This is the battery simulation now we are doing, and now we have to fill the data about the battery characteristics. So this energy demand, it is capturing from the previous step. Now usually in India, most of the battery manufacturers or the OEMs are giving a life of 8 years, and they have an annual degradation of 2%. These fields are editable. You can use you can put the value specific to the data available via OEM to you. The SOC usage limit will also be like given by a OEM. Normally in India, what we have seen, or to the outside, or with the discussion with the various OEMs, they prefer to have a SOC operating limit between 100 to 20. So 20 they are keeping as a safety margin. So this module simulation will give you a battery sizing. So this battery sizing is based on our daily energy requirement, 421 kWh, and this suggested battery capacity is 440 to 440 kWh, which is available nearest to this value available in the market. And this is your battery capacity profile, how it will be used over a period of 8 years, the lifetime that we have entered during our simulation. Now moving to the next round. So this will give you the reverse of what we have done so far. The 9-meter bus, for the battery size capacity that we have calculated, the lifetime, degradation, all the values. Now it will tell us the how vehicle will be performing over a next 8 period, and how the range, how we will get the range in different time of the operations. So you can see we have entered the battery lifetime 8 years. So now the system is giving us the what will be the range at first year, what will be the range at fourth year, and what will be the range at fifth year. So in the entire fleet electrification, our target is to design a system which will deliver the range that we have taken as a 200 kilometer, because that is our daily distance that our system, our vehicle has to do. So whatever system we are designing at the 8th year, you should get the same range. So your entire system has to be selected based on that. So now you can see at the end of 8th year, whatever simulations we have done so far, you will get a same kilometer with a full 100% passenger loading and HVAC on. And you can see with the 50% loading, you can see with the SOC reserve, and this is a theoretical max. Now you see the range at the first year. The same vehicle which you took during year 1, based on your operations, will give you a 256 kilometer range in the first year, but your system has to be designed to deliver you a 200 kilometer at the 8th year. So this is how our system will help a user to decide the entire vehicle system, the charging infrastructure, and the energy infrastructure based on their operations. Now we are moving to the next one. So this is a charging infrastructure sizing. So in typical transit buses cases, or for example, any state transport department we take, they have number of vehicles on a same route. So for this project, we are taking 10 number of vehicles. So this is our time that we used in our system. So what we are saying that our first bus will leave at 7 a.m. and between 7 to 8, all our 10 vehicles will leave the depot. And they will be start coming by 9 p.m. and the last bus will come by 10 o'clock into the depot. So for this simulation, as of now, since we are doing it with the EV of light, so these parameters are not taken into account. As of now, our charging strategy is overnight charging. There is no vehicle swapping. There is no queuing management. There is no charging management. Like charging management, when we say there is no controlled or managed charging, the charging assignment is unrestricted. There is no route assignment is not dedicated routes. There is no restriction on the transformer. There is no electricity rate dependent charging. So all these features will be activated in the advanced and pro versions. Here you can see the results of the charging infrastructure. So this is the load profile. Here you can see the minimum charger rating you need for your particularly for this vehicle is 29 kilowatt, and this is based on 1:1. So 10 number of chargers are required with the single port. Average charging time is 9 hours 54 minutes. Total energy demand will be 2870 kWh for all 10 vehicles, and this is the maximum power demand. Based on this, the transformer capacity you need is 300 kV. So here you will get your charging infrastructure design. Here you will get your energy infrastructure design. Now moving on to the next TCO analysis. So this TCO analysis we are doing for a single bus analysis. So this data is coming from the previous module, as you can see everything. Now you can see change here the fuel type of your current vehicle. For this session, we are taking this project, we are considering the fuel type, current fuel type as a diesel. So based on market data, the diesel bus cost of a 9-meter bus is somewhere around 40 lakhs. So I'm just seeing that number. So here you will put your annual days of operation. Normally the buses runs 350 days a year. Here I am using the fuel cost as 85 rupees per liter. The maintenance cost of a diesel bus is 8 rupees a kilometer based on the data available in market. But you can put the actual data available with you as per your operations. So I'm just putting a battery size nearest to this battery size. It can be any like it is again you will get it from the OEM. This is battery lifetime degradation. This is one important parameter. These are the grid emissions. So the electricity that you are getting for your charging infrastructure. So what are the emissions of that grid? So every grid has got their emission values. For this calculation, I'm using the grid emission as 0.0091 tons per kWh. So the cost of 9-meter bus electric we are considering as 1.5 crores. So now you see all these values are populating automatically because we have put a one factor of calculating these values, but you can fill in your exact values based on the discussion with your potential OEM about the charging infrastructure cost, the subsidy cost, the battery replacement cost, and the battery resale value. And this is the interest rate, and this is the discount rate to calculate your net cash flow and the entire financial analysis. For this project, I'm taking the electricity cost or the energy charges as 5 rupees a kWh and demand charges at 0.1. It again depends on the state to state distribution. So the maintenance cost of an electric vehicle is 4 rupees a kilometer. Now I'm running the analysis. So this is how we run our analysis, and you can see here the comparison year by year between diesel bus and electric bus. Use is happening around 50, and this bump from 8 to 9, you see there is a slope. In this during this year, your battery has been replaced. This is the entire comparison, all the financials you can see here. And this is the what if analysis. If I'll change anything, so there will be a real impact on this. Suppose I'll change the electricity cost to 4 rupees. You see the graph has changed. If I increase this to 6 rupees, you see there is a change into the graph. So based on this, you can do the what if analysis. If you want to change any of the financial parameters, then you can hit the button update TCO. Now here is your updated TCO graph. And finally, we come to the financial dashboard. So here you can see the total cost of ownership between a battery electric bus and a diesel bus. So this is the capital cost, this is the operating cost, and this is the interest charges. And vis-a-vis, this is a capital cost of a diesel bus, the operating cost, and the interest charges. This is the annual cash flow, discount rate, the IRR and NPV, and this is a cumulative cash flow. Here you can see the break-even period is 6th year. This is your operating cost cost per mile. BEV, you can see the capital is 19 rupees, the OPEX is 13 rupees, and interest is 10 rupees, and combined together it is 43 rupees. This is your operating cost of a diesel bus. Sorry, the operating cost of a diesel bus, the average cost, 49 rupees, and breakup is 4.76 is the capital, 39.51 is the OPEX, and 4.83 is the interest. Here, and this is the same cost per kilometer represented in a bar graph. So this is the entire analysis that user can perform on this tool, and this will give the users the high level study about the fleet electrification. And if they want to do a further analysis, so as of now, those modules are not available. As I shown you in my deck. I'm just resharing. So these modules as of now is not available on SaaS platform, but very soon they will be available on the SaaS platform, the basic and advanced and pro. And as of now, if the user wants to go and take a deeper look inside the project, so currently we are offering the consulting services for this thing. Thank you. Now I am open for the questions.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. It was really interesting. And honestly, it is a wonderful thing to see that the amount of research and development has put into this industry, just with a clear-cut objective of reducing the pollution and helping the sustainable public transportation industry. So it was really insightful. We will look into the questions that has been asked. One or two questions were about the charges. What is the cost and what will be the subscription charge of this platform? That's the question number one.
Okay, so cost of the charger. So since we are not like the manufacturer.
Sorry, not the charges, the software platform. The charges.
Yeah. So EV of Light is available for free to use, and this can help the users to do a high level study for the projects. So MGL is not charging anything for the current version of EV of Light now or in the future. So only the chargeable versions will be the basic, advanced and pro. So pricing will be appeared on the website once they are available on the SaaS platform. So they will be available in couple of months.
Okay. Well, that's the answer for the question. And there is some other question which is not actually relevant to the software, but I believe if you want to take it up, you can answer. It's like, what will happen if the vehicle gets stuck up in the mud, and what is there any kind of a device which can overcome this situation? That's the question.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so an EV vehicle getting stuck in the middle of a desert or a muddy area, is there any device or any kind of vehicle which could help to overcome that situation? It is asked by Mr.
So my question is to the user is like, are we talking about a EV that will stuck into the mud, or are we talking about
it's EV, I guess so.
Okay.
The question is
so to answer this question, I will give a one feedback, like kind of or answer of this question is like, whenever we do a study, we always, when we go for a route, so our first step of the system is route energy modeling. So when we do a study, so we always see and learn about the terrain. So based on that, we design our system.
Okay.
So if like, I'll give you one example. Like in most of the place, not most of the places, if you have seen a jungle safari of any place or any national park, there the routes are muddy. So some of the customers or persons are like giving a vehicle for that jungle safari purpose, and they are modeling their system according to the terrain or the route that they have into the jungle safari. So other question, other answer of this question is like if some vehicle stuck into a mud, so there is always a possibility to hire a towing van.
Yeah, the conventional approach, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's about the session, I guess. If there are any other questions, you can please post in the chat box. Thank you, Mr. Lalit, for your wonderful presentation. We
Thank you.
appreciate your time. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening. Thank you. Now we will move ahead to the next session.